energy healer, and he did experiment with that. And I tell you, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I, in the interest of time, I will not go into detail, but when you give this energy before you go for operation, you recover faster. If you, after operation, when you go for surgery, and then you are given this energy, you recover slower, but faster than normal. But if you receive this before and after, the recovery is so much faster. So, and he was very surprised. He said, how do I explain this? He repeated this experiment many, many times, and it's the same result. And he says, how do I explain this, So that Newtonian science are not able to explain. So anyway, I will not go into detail, but it shows that there was an effect. And he did it in front of the patient as well as away remotely. Let's say, the patient is in Baguio, but you send the energy from here. You want to see if that works. It works. So next. And this was where he did this experiment, and with the pranic healer's energy, the cells actually recover. He used radiation to kill the cell before and after before giving, and then after giving, he also gives this gamma radiation. And these were the cells that are 50% survive, 50% die. But when he used those pranic healers to come in to give energy, he was surprised that he went up, to 70% survival, 80% survival, 90% survival. And he couldn't explain, but he saw the effect of this. Next. So he saw the effect of this, And when he gave this energy before and after the cells were exposed, 90% survived. And cells, you don't have this placebo effect that you can have on human. And yet, you can see very interesting data coming out from there. Next. I'm showing this slide to show you that there's a spiritual energy that helps in healing. Not the artificial drugs that you are taking. I'm talking about this is another form of healing, which animals do not, in the way that human does. But anyway, I will not go through this. Next. So the energy of consciousness, the triple manifestation of human being, of how we actually heal. Remember that 4 years that I went through to heal myself? I wanted to actually share this with you so that you can also heal yourself if you have a condition, or help member of the family or friends to heal themselves too. And one of the most important things is about consciousness. Consciousness. Remember I told you that we don't listen to our body. Many of us were too busy with the outside world that we don't listen to the body. Listening to your body is a consciousness. Alright? Next. So the energy of consciousness is that every cell that is alive, like this one, it has a life force. And once a life force leaves the cell, it's dead. Just like I showed you the dog, the plants, the moment it dies, you can't put the life force back anymore. And because it has a life force, it is alive, they also have a consciousness. Do you know that every cell has a consciousness? When I take one cell on its own, it has certain personality or characteristic. At the moment I take this cell and I migrate it to a group of a collective cells, do you know that this one single cell, it surrenders off its properties and it becomes part of that group? It's amazing, and that's why we do a lot of studies on stem cell and how they differentiate, in stem cells and so on. So consciousness also at the cellular level, there's consciousness. Then many cells make tissue. There's also a level of tissue consciousness. And many different types of tissue makes an organ. That organ also has an organ consciousness. And then, then you have the whole organism. Like you have a local spiritual assembly. There is a body, a consciousness. But collectively, you have a national spiritual assembly, right? On a national level. And globally, you have the universal law of justice. It's another level. It's like a different kind of hierarchy as you go up. Yeah? Next. Oh, just before you go, we learn in school about the different type of system. There's this great guy called Dr. Lipton, Bruce Lipton. He showed that and also James Oshman. Dr. James Oshman. He showed that we all think that we have one brain. He says we have 4 brains. and how the brains all work. 4 brains. And how our physical brain is actually a lot less efficient than the other brain. And then Dr. Bruce Lipton says that the cell, I told you have a consciousness. He says, where is the brain of a cell? We always think it's in the nucleus where the DNA is. Wrong. The brain of the cell is in the membrane. It's amazing, and he showed it. It's in the membrane because it's the membrane that interacts with the intracellular and extracellular, and how the membrane makes decision. I want to share with you something, and this is interesting. I think it's allow me. I don't want to speak for too long, but I just can't help wanting to share with you some beautiful things that Bahai should understand. I was in Singapore. I was with this 2 years. I was nominated to sit on the we call it the Interreligious Organization, IRO. Several used to be there also, and so on. I was also serving there for 2 years. And in that year, I was serving on a panel of this interreligious organization where we have people from Christian, Buddhism, Taoist, Sikh, Jews, Muslim, all were there in that panel, and I was on that council. And that year, the government was very concerned about the research going on in Singapore dealing with stem cell. All right, so they wrote to the IRO, which is the Interreligious Organization, and said, "Can you please make a statement about stem cell research? Right? Where do we draw our line? Where do we put the limit?" The government was seeking for feedback, and I was on the panel when this letter came, and we were having a meeting. And dear friends, on that panel, all the old priests, old monks, all the old people, probably in their 70s and 80s. I was only about 40 years old plus. I was the youngest on the panel, and none of them understood what was stem cell. So they all turned and looked at me and says, "Dr. Chua, can you tell us what is stem cell? Because how do we write a statement back to the government when we don't even know what stem cell is about?" So I tried to explain to them. So I said, "Okay, let me talk to Professor Bong Su from National University of Singapore. He works in this IVF, clinic, and I say that he will be a better person to give you a lot of clinical things to explain about what stem cell does." So I called Professor Bong Su after the meeting. I say, "Hey, Professor, I'd like to invite you to give a talk to a very special group of friends that I have." He said, "Where? Who?" I said, "The Interreligious Organization." He moved back. He said, No, that's the last group of people I want to talk to. They will throw shoes at me. So I told him and said, "Trust me, they're really nice people." I'm finally convinced him, and he came. And he showed electron microscope graph about cells. Right? I think we Bahai should also understand a lot of the science of our body as part of God's creation. Anyway, there's no board. Can I use the board? Or there's no pen? He then showed electron microscope graph of how the egg is being fertilized. So the egg cell, and then you have hundreds and thousands of sperm cells all around the egg, right? Trying to pass through the membrane to get into the egg to fertilize the egg, the human egg, all right? So the egg cell the membrane has 2 layers, outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay. I'll finish this and we have a coffee break. I want to tell you this beautiful story. No.